So I'm going to be showing you how an example of whatever we have studied or seen till now, how it gets, how it's benefiting the world, if I can so say. Okay. Do you all remember that we had spoken about the fact that we can, see and work on natural language processing? So we had seen that we could take out word clouds and the like from a library called Text Blob. Anybody remembers that? No?
Yes, ma'am. I do remember.
Yeah. In fact, you had also attended
Yeah. Is it the same
translation.
project you're going to show us today?
Yes. So this
The
project
Ruby.
has now reached fructification, and
Sorry, my internet was not good, but what are we talking about?
so this project is for an advisory firm. So do you all know about the stock market?
Yeah,
Yes.
What is the stock market?
it's basically a place where people sell small pieces of the store to other people, and then they make profits. And you buy it, and when they make profits, you make profits, and when you don't, and when they make losses, you also make losses.
Okay, so did everyone understand that, or should somebody else also explain it?
The stock market is basically a place where people buy stocks and wait for the price to increase so that they can sell it and make more money.
Yes. So the stock market is a exchange. Okay. An exchange is a place where you give something and you get something, right? So what do you give here? You give money, and what do you get? You get stocks. And then what happens when the um, you know when the prices of the stocks increase, then you give stocks and you get money. Okay. In India, what we have is the NSE and the BSE. Okay. And every country has their own exchange. Okay. Where this whole story about the stocks going up and down, and people making money on it happens. So the people who do this, what are they called? Any idea?
Investors.
Stock market investors.
Yeah. So
Stock marketers.
No, they're actually called
Brokers.
Yeah, so they're called brokers actually, or traders. Because what do? They trade in the stocks. Okay. That means they are not the people who make any decision for a company. Okay. What they do is they just trade in the stocks. So let me show you some pictures which you should internalize, because these are very common pictures that you'll see. So there's this stock market concept where there are supposed to be two kinds of people who bet on the stock market. Some people believe that they will buy a stock today. So they believe that I'm going to buy, say, for example, I'm going to buy what do you all like? So maybe ONGC, or Oil India Corporation, Indian Oil. Okay. Everyone needs petrol, and we are going to buy petrol stock today, and they believe that the stock will increase. Okay. So this is what is the dream for them, that they buy a stock here and it will increase up. These guys are called the bulls. Okay. So you will notice that there is a whole set of investors who are called, they're very bullish about the stock. Okay. And a bull gallops upwards. Okay. So there are multiple images you will see which would mean that there is a bull run. They'll say there's a bull run. And then you have a set of people who believe that so you will see all these images of bulls in virtually every stock market article, etc. You'll see this particular bull. Even in the New York Stock Exchange, if you look it up, this is the BSE, again a stock exchange in India. But even in the New York Stock Exchange, if you see it, there'll be the photograph of this bull. So there's this set of people who believe that the value of the shares will increase. So they buy it with the intention of selling it when the market increases. Okay, so the bull is the guy who believes that the market is going to increase.
Okay.
Okay, he's the guy, he believes the market's going to increase, and if I buy it today, tomorrow when I sell it, I will actually make money on this whole thing. Okay, and then you have the set of people who believe that actually it is this is not correct, that there will be a low down. Okay, that means that if I buy it, actually tomorrow the price of shares will decrease. Okay, so these guys are called the bears. Okay, they believe that actually the world's going to slide downwards, the cost will slide downwards. Okay, so they call it the bear hug. Okay, the bear will hug the stock and it would actually go down. Now these guys make money by buying the stock today. Okay, and telling their people, the person, somebody from whom they take the money, that I will pay you the money tomorrow. Now suppose I buy the stock at 100 rupees and tomorrow it becomes 90 rupees. How much money do I have to return?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yes, I'm saying that if I have to buy a stock today and tomorrow the price of the same stock becomes 90 rupees. I buy it today for 100 rupees and tell him I'm going to pay you tomorrow. And the price of the stock actually becomes 90 rupees. So what will happen? How much will I have
Pay
to
him 90 rupees?
Yes. So I'll have to pay
Oh, that's
him
pretty
90 rupees.
smart.
Yeah.
But what if that doesn't happen? You just
Yeah. So that
if
is
that
why,
doesn't happen, you pay him $100, right?
yeah, and if it goes up, you might have to pay 110. So you would lose money, right? Because I mean, the stock
You're
market,
trying to be a smarty pants.
you are always trying to be a smarty pant. Okay. And
Right.
the best part is, who are the people who play this game? It is mostly the very large companies and the banks. What happens
Yeah,
is,
because they got a lot of money to there.
yeah. So they think, let us put the money in for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, etc. And we will in 2 or 3 days itself, let us earn some money, extra money out of it. With that thought process, you always have this standoff between a bull and the bear.
Okay.
Okay. Now, of course, so you have this set of people who are the brokers who have the money. Okay. And who are the traders, right?
Yes.
Then you have the people who advise the traders. So it's like so this is the place where this whole square off happens. This is called the stock exchange. Okay, and there are these large screens, and if you see multiple movies, you will keep seeing this. Okay.
Hello?
Hi. No, I was just wanting to pick out a relevant photograph for you all to see. So you
Okay.
keep seeing this type of place, where there are large, big screens you have. You can see the value of the stocks, and you see these mics like this. Each one
Yeah.
has a counter, and they will keep buying, selling, sell, buy. If you have you ever been to a city market at Vaishnavi? I know that you have been in Bangalore, so you are in Bangalore, and
Yeah, I have been to City Market.
हाँ क्या होता है वहां पे वो they are all shouting ना
Yeah.
coconut is for 20 rupees 22 rupees
Bargaining.
bargaining, constant bargaining, right? And it depends on you. Sometimes you are lucky, and there are times when, so in my house you end up using a lot of coconuts, and sometimes Shanana and I go there. You really can't even take a car and go. You've got to go in a two-wheeler, and then you can't buy small amounts. You got to buy at least 10 coconuts or 20 coconuts and bring them off. And they'll give you coconuts for, when the market outside is selling it for 40 bucks, you'll go get coconut for 20 bucks sometimes over there, 25 bucks. And so you make a cool 15 rupees per coconut difference. So when I have 15 rupees, if I gain, and if I buy 20 such coconuts, how much am I saving?
Okay.
Tell me. On one coconut, I'm saving 15 rupees. So how much am I saving on 20 coconuts?
15 into 20. Right.
Which is?
1 minute. 300.
Yes. So for 10 coconuts, I'll end up saving 150 rupees, right?
Yep.
And 150 plus 150 is 300.
Yep.
What is the other way I could have calculated it?
With a calculator.
No, but you should not need a calculator. If you'll need a calculator over there, that fellow will know that he can make a fool of you. Okay, you don't have time to calculate it in calculators. Okay. Now, what these guys are therefore they're doing is constantly they have to keep deciding, am I going to buy, am I going to sell? I'm going to buy 100 stocks, sell 1,000 stocks, buy 1,000 stocks, sell 900 stocks, like that. Okay. So they have these earphones. You can see most of them will have these earpieces. So they have another set of data analysts who are sitting in the office, and they keep checking the newspapers, etc. So when does the stock price of a company increase? Any idea? When do you think, when does anyone figure out the company, when we should pay more for the stock of the company? When would you pay more for the stock of the company?
I don't know.
When it's making a lot of rise and profit.
Yeah. So when it's making a lot of profits. Now, how does anybody know? How do you know if somebody is successful or making profits?
The stock will
When
like
the
it will
prices.
go higher.
No, that is the outcome, right? Of making profits is that your stock price increases. But the point is, how does the world know? If the world doesn't know that you are making profits, it's not going to buy your stock, right? So how does the world know if you're making? Because everyone is working in the office. So how does the world know that you are making a profit as a company? So any idea? How would you know? How do you know if your friends are rich?
Well, they come up in fancy cars and,
Correct.
eat fancy stuff.
Then now what is, now obviously in office nobody can come and see what is it, but how do you know if there's one company is doing well? What do you think it
When
is?
they're when
They
like they
have
have
good
a big,
resources.
Yeah,
they have a big company and they have.
yeah, they can show you that I have released a new product. Oh my God, Apple is doing well. It first started with just one version of iPhone. Now there are 8 versions of iPhones, right? So the company must be doing well. It's able to sell so much iPhone. Agree?
Yep.
Then
People buy the same thing over and over again with different names.
Then TCS, Tata Consulting is doing very well. How do I know that? they have given a job requirement that they will be able to hire 10,000 people this year. When will company hire 10,000 people this year? If it's
When
doing
it's
well.
stable.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
it's doing extremely well.
It's doing extremely well and wants to grow. So obviously there's something they're doing good. So basically what happens is whenever the market gets a cue that you are doing well, then lots of people start buying your stock. And when do you know if the people are not doing well?
When less people
But
are buying
then,
the stock.
No, that's the outcome of not doing well, beta. Buying of stock is the outcome of doing or not doing well. First, the company has to do well, then only its stock gets affected. So how would you know if the company is doing well or not? Suppose you are this broker and you are standing over there. This is called the well of the exchange. Okay. You're standing over there and you're thinking, oh my God, Apple is doing really well. Okay. And then there's a news outcome which says that iPhone, burst into flames. 10 iPhones burst into flames,
what?
when they were being charged. And because of this, yes, and this happens, the Samsung had a really nice phone, and they released a new version of that phone, and that phone, when it was being charged, it burnt into flames. And once what happened, somebody was using the phone when the charger was on, and that person got an electric shock and died. Okay,
Oh
because
God.
the phone conducted the charge into the person. So if you get news like this, then what do you know?
Let's not buy Apple.
Yes. So what happens when the customers will stop buying Apple? What will happen to the value of the company?
A decrease.
It will decrease, right? Because people will not buy the product. Then what will happen? Should I buy the stock of Apple when I know that this news will ensure that people don't buy the product?
Nope.
No, because my money will reduce then. If the Apple share which I have, which I cost 100 rupees, starts costing 80 rupees, then I'm pretty sure that my value will decrease, right? In my hand, I had 100 rupees and now I have 80 rupees because I have one Apple share which used to cost 100 rupees, and now that Apple share is actually costing 80 rupees. So that's not good. Correct? You understand? So I lose my worth. Like what happens when you buy a car? After you use the car for 2-3 years, do you get the same amount of money for selling the car as you had 2 years back when you bought the car?
No, because it has more mileage.
It has more mileage, it has more wear and tear. So the market refuses to give you that money, right? Agreed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the same thing happens in the stocks. Stocks are, parts of a company, and that parts of the company is going to be less valuable if the company loses value. And when does the company lose value? Or how does the world come to know that the company is going to lose value? Through all these news, etc. Right?
Yes.
Who's the guy who gains? The person who comes to know the news first, right? Because he is able to take action first. Do you agree? If you already come to know the news, then you will do what you think. Like we have, I'll just give you an example. We saw the news and we realized that for this Omicron variants in Delhi is increasing. So we preponed our tickets and came back to Bangalore. Okay. Now, if I didn't see the news, would I know it? No, right? And if I don't know it, what will happen? I could stay there and maybe the lockdown starts and we would be stuck in Delhi. Agreed? Hello?
Yeah.
Huh? So what
Yeah.
are we now talking about? Can somebody tell me, therefore, what am I trying to tell you? Anybody who wants to summarize for me these slides? Come on. Guys, honestly, managing money is the most important skill you will have. Earning is one part.
Well, there's the stock market, which is a place where people go and sell parts of their shop. The people who buy it, called it masters, for money. And there's a place that people make money. And then there are the two types of investors, which are bulls and bears. And
Okay. So what is the bull thinking?
the stock market will go up.
The bull is thinking it will go up. Okay, yeah. And
Enough.
bear,
Yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
okay. The bear thinks that it will go down in value. So
Yeah.
then it, yeah.
And there's also the one part you told us about, that if you have to pay for it, right? And you can delay your pay by a day or two, and then in that pay, if the price decreases, you have to like give the money that decreased amount, and if it goes up, then you have to give that. So you can save money with that, and you can also lose money with that. And usually big companies like banks and stuff use that. Ma, you're on. Okay. Sorry, there's a little bit of an intervention.
yeah, sorry. Okay. So the bear makes money, Sharanya, by the assumption that the market will drop. How does the bull make money?
While making it a profit for them by making the money higher so that they will get a profit and the person who's buying the item will not.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. Okay. So what we are saying is both the bull and the bear can make money in different ways.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
You use the stock market, right?
yes.
Are you a bull or a bear?
I generally work on the bull item. So I actually try to look for the times when the stock price will decrease, then I buy it and I wait for it to increase.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yes. So now imagine, as I told you, there's these traders who stand in the pit of the house, right? So you can see the house looks like this. The market building looks this way, circular. And in the middle, you have these guys who all get one computer and they have to make very quick decisions on hundreds of stocks. Okay. So that means that is it possible for one person to review hundreds of stocks every day?
No.
Yeah, they cannot, because where are they?
No.
They are standing in the middle of the, the pit and working. Then how are they going to review hundreds of stocks? So what do you think they should do?
Make a big company.
Yeah.
Without the people to do that.
Correct. So there should be at least 100 people in that company. Each of them could be managing one or two stocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is what these guys do. They actually have broking companies, and those companies have many people who have to go and they keep looking at newspapers and seeing what the news is about the different stocks. Okay. Now, yes, tell me, Sharanya, what is it?
Why are they called brokers? What do they break?
No, they broker. A broker is somebody who makes the two ends meet. So you have a house broker. What does a house broker do?
Break houses.
It's called a broker, not a breaker.
Okay, 1 more
Yeah.
minute.
What do you think, beta? Broker does a house broker? Have any of you moved into a house on rent or a purchasing?
So they just find new houses and
They arrange.
they go.
Yes. So they arrange for you to see those new houses, and when the landlord is not there and all that, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah. So banking as well as share trading, these guys are brokers, because what is the broker? Whose money is he buying and selling shares with?
Ours.
Yes. And how did you give him the right? How do we give the right to the broker?
Paper.
Yeah.
Some sort of paper.
Yeah. But has any of you heard of mutual funds?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it, Akshay? Do you know, beta?
I think I've seen an ad for it though. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that mutual fund things. It sounds so fast. I can't figure out what it's saying.
Okay. Daniel, anybody who figured out?
The investment funds.
Yes. So you actually give your money to those guys and authorize the broker that, listen, you can go to the market and you can do the trading of shares on my behalf. Now, what the broker does is he takes money from Daniel, from Anya, from Akshaya, from Sharanya, from everyone, and then he has a big pool of money, right? Then he takes that pool of money and goes for broking. Okay. And then he is able to buy and sell so many shares.
That's nice.
Okay. So that is the reason why they are called brokers, because they take the money from investors. And who are the investors? Investors are you and me, who give our money to these brokers through mutual funds, or through facilities like this, like we actually sign up, and that we will invest so much of money, and they are able to then accumulate all the money, and they go on the stock exchange and buy and sell. Okay.
That's nice.
Yeah. So that is how this whole world of money goes. So as I was telling you, even though you may want to be a writer, you might want to be a cook, you might want to be a dancer, please understand.
I'm opening a restaurant.
Okay, Sharanya. Whatever you may do, there will be an interplay of money, and therefore you should ideally at least have maths till class 12, so that one, you are not scared of maths and money. Okay. And the second is you come to know how to increase your money, because it's always good to manage money wisely. Okay. How not to lose your money. Okay. Is that making sense? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So now so what is the critical point? How does the broker decide if he is going to buy or sell? What did I say? Anya, are you able to follow this? Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. What did you understand? Because you did not contribute to it. So will you tell me, what did you understand?
I understand that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to put it in words.
You put it into any words you like. If you like Potter, you can tell me what does Harry Potter do? And how does it all go on the stock exchange?
Harry Potter goes and finds Horcrux to kill Voldemort, and then he dies himself and then comes back to life, then kills Voldemort in an epic battle.
Sharanya, but then he'll grow up. Then what will he do? He'll become a wizard, and
and then he makes tiny versions of himself. Even there is a book about that, Mom.
Will he earn some money?
Yeah, definitely. Becomes an order.
Say if he goes to Diagon Alley to buy more books, And
Yeah,
then
he has a lot of money. He's an author now, so he does make
pay
money.
you the next day.
But
And
he's
then
already rich.
the
Uh-huh, definitely. When he was young,
stuff
also he was rich.
When he was young, also he was rich. I thought he lived in the attic. I mean, under the staircase or something like that.
Yeah, and then, oh, get out!
That's with his aunt and uncle. So
Yeah, correct. So what I'm trying to ask you is, Anya, what do you understand?
That people buy stuff for less. No, people buy stuff for less and they sell it for more so that they get profit.
Yes. What do they buy and sell?
So they buy what do you call it?
A cauldron, a magic wand, an owl. Well, actually, Hagrid gets the owl. And and clothes like robes and books. And of course, a
asking
book.
Anya, Sharanya, will you let him answer, please? Anya, what do they buy, beta?
They buy stocks of stuff.
Yes. So what is a stock?
It's a amount of like anything. So it could be coconuts or anything.
No, it's a part of the of the company. So the company, if they're yeah, so it's a part of the company which you can buy and sell on the stock exchange. Okay, so
Okay.
that's what they do. Okay. Now, therefore, in the stock exchange, what determines that the stock should increase in price, and how do you determine if it will decrease in price?
If it's a bear.
If it's a bear is a this no, that's not the way. How will the stock increase in price, or when will the stock increase in price? Like, when will you wear good clothes? You know, your nice frilly frocks. If I ask you this question, then what will be the answer? When you go out, perhaps, or if you have guests at home. Okay, so that way, when does the stock price go up? When something good happens in the company. And that, how does the world outside know if something good has happened in the company? By tracking the news. Okay, in the news, yeah, you've seen the news, right? So whenever Omicron is increasing, then the news is saying, oh my God, Delhi's got rising cases, Bangalore's got rising cases. So then what happens? Then the stock price of the companies based out of Delhi, what will happen to them?
They would make their prices higher.
No, it will go down, right? Because you know that when Omicron cases are rising, then maybe people will not come out and buy, or they will not go to the shops. And therefore, if they don't buy goods, what will happen?
The company won't make any money.
Yes. And if it doesn't make money, the stock price should go down, right? Because why have I bought stocks in the company? So that I can become richer, not that the company should not make money. Okay. So with this logic, this market keeps going up. So some stocks, the prices go up, the prices go down, and people keep making different calls. Okay, that, oh, now it's going to go up, now it's going to go down, and they take action as per what they can think about. Now, there are, there is the government. Do you all know that there's a government and there's a Reserve Bank? I don't know if that is too much for you all, but
I do know there's a government.
yeah. So the government of each of the countries, right? They have told each company that every year they have to present a profit and loss. Okay, that means a statement like your report card. What happens every year? You have a report card which tells you how well you have done or you have not done, right? So
Yeah.
like that, the government has said every year, every company has to create, okay, a balance sheet and a profit and loss report and submit it to the public. Now, why to the public? Because this company is allowing the public to buy stocks, okay, and shares. Okay, so the public has whoever has bought that stock and share has become part owner of the company, you know. So he should know, any owner should know what's happening in the company. Hence, it is a law requirement that you have to create a profit and loss account and a balance sheet and share in the public domain. Okay, so where do companies put out a profit and loss and balance sheet? Therefore, what do you think? On their websites, and they also make booklets out of it. Okay, so what happens is they make this booklets. So imagine how big these documents are. It could run into hundreds of pages, like one mini book. And how much time do you take to read that one book of yours?
A million.
Depends.
Harry Potter book, how much time did you all take per book?
I took like a month or something.
Exactly a month. And then
Akshay?
another 2 weeks to process what is happening.
Yeah, because like the books are quite big.
And then another week just to process what just happened.
Okay.
Especially the Goblet of Fire or something.
I know. So
The Deathly Hallows is really big too.
Yeah.
So,
No, the Order of the Phoenix is the biggest, I think.
Yeah, Order of the Phoenix. That's what I saw in the library. It was really big.
Because I've got my Order of the Phoenix book and it's really big.
Daniel and Vaishnavi, what happened to you when you started? Did you once start reading the book, or did you just limit yourself to the movie?
I started reading the book first.
I read the book first and then I read the movies. Sorry, I watched the movies.
I didn't find it too long though. I finished like the couple of books, like one book in one day.
Yeah, it's not that.
I saw all the movies and read one book.
The books are better because in the movies they
It's-
miss out bits and add
Yeah.
stuff.
It's more detailed in the book rather.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and the other Daniel is saying nothing at all.
I'm not a big fan of the series.
Okay, but did you see the movie at least?
I watched the first 3, I think.
Okay. Okay. So what are we finding out? That some people who really enjoyed it, so that's Akshaya and Anya, I think, who have said that, and Vaishnavi said they had seen, and Daniel said they read the whole book. Okay. Sharanya read one book and watched all the movies. And then Daniel number 2 said, I didn't really enjoy it. I watched 3 movies and then I didn't try the books. Okay. So what are we finding? That there are more takers. First thing is there are more takers, or it's easier if you have a shorter version of anything, right? So the ones who really enjoy it could read the whole book, but the ones who did not and just wanted to know the story could at any point of time just see the movie, which was a shorter version of the book, but it had all the important events of the book, right? Okay, so the same way what happens is these books are released, and imagine there are 800 to 1,000, multiple thousands of companies listed on the stock exchange. So for one a brokerage firm to have to go through a book for each of the companies is very difficult, right? So it's very difficult for them. So one of the good ways that they decide to do it is, this is one of the places where the summary. Yes, beta, Anya.
What?
Sorry, wait. I just need a.
You have a baby sister. That's so cool. I also have a sister. Get out, get out, get out, get out.
Sharanya, Sharanya,
No.
please don't misbehave. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is that there is, if we could just take out the gist of the books, it would appeal to a much larger audience, right? And this is exactly what a particular company, and you can look them up, it's called Ruby Consulting Group. So I'll just show it to you. I will share my screen. 1 minute. This company, okay. So this is a one. They say we are a one-stop shop for high-quality financial research and data analytics. And then they talk about empowering investment banks, private equity, and venture capital funds with bespoke research and analytics support, and providing financial intelligence, strategic and decision-making support to CEOs and CFOs. What is a CEO, Akshaya? Your mother is a CEO?
Yeah, I don't know the full form, but that's the person who owns the company.
Huh. It's called the Chief Executive Officer. So the person is responsible for the company's functioning. And what is a CFO?
I'm not sure. I have not
I
heard.
think I know.
Yeah, tell me.
Company financial officer.
Yes, so it's called the Chief Financial Officer. And he is responsible for managing the money of the company. Okay, so this is what this company does. Okay, so here you can see they have put out whom they serve and how and all that stuff. Okay, so this company, what one of the things it does is for all these other, firms, they create the analytics and share it out. Okay, they wanted to do a summarization which should not take too much of time, right? Because it takes too many manas to read such fat books. So I'll just show you how a balance sheet or a profit and loss statement looks. It'll give you an idea. So which is a company of your choice?
Subway.
Okay.
Jockey.
Okay.
Hey, somebody else also say. Burger King.
McDonald's.
Okay. So I'll just show you I'll just share with you just for your understanding, children. Okay, I'm just requesting you all just open this link up. Can you see it in the chat box?
Yeah.
Okay, just open it. Right, it's not so much of an easy read. Okay, now suppose you want to understand what each one of them is. Here you can see it over here. Okay, like this you create these statements. Okay, so there are these things which which exist, and imagine having to read through multiple such statements.
Boring.
Boring, correct. It's really boring, right? Now, whenever these statements are released, also what happens is the company makes an announcement.
Hey people, we're hiring more people to do this boring work.
No, no, it's not like that. They actually like, I'll show you the. See, like this. I'm just take this down and just click on this link which I'm sending. It will come into your system.
Amazon income statement. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Can I click on it?
No, not the Amazon income statement. I've sent you another link. That's for TCS.
Okay.
Huh.
You
And
sent
it's a
it to me in
condensed.
direct message.
Oh, not to everyone?
No,
Oh, so sorry.
it's okay.
Everyone.
Oh,
Please just
this.
link, click on this, beta.
This is interesting.
I've sent it to everyone now.
Why is it such a? Why is it? What is
No,
this?
it'll open up like a PDF. Okay. And here you will be able to see this is the condensed. This is not even the whole. This is the
Oh
condensed
my
statement.
God!
And you can see that this condensed statement, you know, has corporate information, statement of compliance. Like, just observe it for a
Oh my
2
God!
minutes. Okay.
Property, plant, people.
From page 27, Sharanya, please mute yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. From page 27 onwards, you will see that a lot of written material is also provided, right? That of what is what and so on. So there's a lot of information, and then along with this, the CEO or the chief financial officer, etc., of these large companies will also, you know, release some press notes. Okay. So what is a press note?
Is it
It's a-
notes for the price?
Exactly. So that would be coming in the newspapers, etc., saying that this is what we believe will happen in the future. In the past, this has happened. We're very happy, and we're not happy, and stuff like that. Okay. So there are these lots of, you know, so I'll just show you an example again of where you can see all of this. So if you just go to these sites, you can compare the history. You can see the director's report of the Tata Consultancy, you know, where the director writes the chairman's speech. Okay. So the chairman of the company has written to all his shareholders. So, you know, you have multiple such documents. Then there's the auditor's report. Auditors are people who have checked the financial statement and they have come up with their opinion. Can you see? Okay. Children, can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. There are multiple such informations that will all be released for multiple such companies. Huh? And that makes it very difficult for any one set of people to go and, you know, quickly understand everything possible. Okay. For which they want to use analytics and data science, specifically the part that we all had done that time. You remember, from see the you know, the main words, etc. If there was some way to pick out what was the main theme or the main words which anybody has used, those companies have used, these guys can quickly turn around reading of these reports. Okay. So with this, let's take a Python, you know, where we had used the text blob, as a package, to understand which are the words, which are the most common words in some of the sentences we had put. Do you remember that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
you remember, Vaishnavi?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
brings out the most common words out of
Yeah.
the data I've given.
Yeah. And what is those most common words called?
I forgot what
Somebody
it's called.
just fart.
I forgot what it's called.
Did
That's
somebody
okay.
just
You all
fart?
can just fart. It's okay. In my class, doesn't matter. Yeah. What is it called? It's called a word cloud. Okay. What's it
Yeah,
called?
So
Yeah.
it's
it's
words
called
in
a
a
word.
cloud.
Yeah. So there's a word cloud, and you have facilities to create this word cloud and check. Okay. So I will just show you the code that you all had done, so that if it tickles a memory, you might find it easier to understand how it looks, and maybe we can even run this code and see also. But
Uh,
first, the idea is to take you through what the sequence of code is telling. Yes, Vaishnavi. tell me.
Is this the one that takes out the common words and puts it into a JPEG?
Yeah. So it takes out
Okay,
the
okay.
most common words and puts it into a JPEG.
JPEG.
Yeah. Very
Anya, what are
beautiful.
you doing?
Yeah.
What is that? It's so cute.
Okay. So if you might remember, the methodology remains the same to open up Anaconda and then to launch your Jupyter notebook. Okay. Yeah. And the methodology remains that, you've got a package called text blob. So what is a package?
I'll be back in 5 minutes, 1 minute.
What is a package, children? What's a package?
Oh, I finished my lunch. Shreya also doesn't like it. I'm back, people.
I've done this in Python. What's a package, please? We had done this, right? We've taken out what is the most important words in the paragraph, etc. Okay. So here also you will notice that these are slightly more complicated codes, but definitely they are all of the similar kind as we had seen. So this
Oh
is
yeah, package is that thing which you can just like it's like a pre-made code thing.
yes. So packages are sets of codes so that we don't have to spend too much time writing everything from scratch. In Excel, how does the package manifest itself? In Excel, what is the way that we can use package? In Excel, anyone who remembers it? We can use it by clicking on the buttons, right? Daniel, I expect you all to at least remember some things, children. I can see all of you have forgotten a lot of the stuff now.
I've been talking the first half of the class and I want somebody else to talk now.
See here, what is in Excel, what is the way that we can check a package? All these button driven systems are packages, right? We just
Yeah.
click on them and we can get what we want. So in Excel, the package has a button associated with it. But in Python, the package doesn't have a button. It has codes itself, but those codes are pre-written and bundled together in packages so that it becomes easy and we don't need to write everything. Okay. So what are the packages we are using? We are using text blob, and then we are using a package called matplotlib. Okay, so which is mathematical plotting library. And then we are looking at pandas. Do you remember what we were using pandas for?
To get the data out.
To bring the data into Python, right? To read and write
Oh, yeah.
files into Python. Okay. So that's what we are using pandas for. So multiple such packages, or if there had been a front end button, we used. And what we did over here is we were able to read in the files. So the first file that we read in was a revenue file, okay, which talked about the revenue of the companies. Okay. Now, when you looked at the files, this is how the data was looking. There was Infosys, okay, as a company. The revenue was the tag which was given. And what is the industry of Infosys? Infosys, TCS, which industry do they belong to? Are they hotel industry? Or
IT industry.
yes, so they are IT industries, right? Okay, so this is for the IT and ITES, IT enabled services industries. Now, what happens here? These are the type of, there were a lot of information which was written and kept. Okay, I'll show you the main file also. Vaishnavi, you had seen it, but I think you will now find it more interesting because you can associate what is the outcome.
Yes. Yes. I
Huh?
can. Yeah.
Now, this is the type of work that if you all decide to do data science, then these are just types of works that you can check that you might get.
The reason I say my system is bad.
Yeah, so I will just share with you. This is how the data is looking. So here is Infosys. The tagline is COVID impact. So there are different sheets in the Excel, and this is the sheet I'm working on, where the industry type, company name, tagline, the quarter. So I made it very simple for you, and I said that once in a year the companies prepare these documents. Actually, they don't. They prepare it every quarter. That is 4 times in a year. Okay, so just imagine how painful it is to try to read something 4 times in a year for so many thousands of companies, right? Okay, so here.
Oh my God, the poor people have to sit and read all this.
Yeah, finance guys are always paid more for this reason. It's a very painful job.
Oh my
But it is
God.
critical to success of any company. Okay, so here is the type of wordings that they saw. Now, this is the file that we imported in using Python. Okay, and we divided the data, okay, and made it into these tagged values. Okay, so we made it into paragraphs because there you notice there are multiple rows. Okay, so here we made it into. You can't hear me?
No, we can.
Yeah, we made it into multiple.
We can.
Okay, so we made it into multiple values. Now here you will notice that on running this small bit of code itself, we were able to see what is called the sentiment of the word of the sentence. So what was the sentiment? What does sentiment mean?
We can't hear you.
Okay.
You're crackling.
Okay, is this better? Is this better? Folks, is this better?
Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah.
Or it's not so good?
It-
Okay.
Yeah. You're crackling again.
Yeah, it's gotten a lot worse.
Oh, okay. Just 1 minute. Let me look. Is this better now? No. One minute.
S or sentiment with a C? How do you spell it?
Sentiment is with the S.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
I think there's a company with sentiment with a C. I guess ma'am has to clarify that.
It is a view or opinion that is held or expressed.